This is a Tape Deck podcast.
Hello and welcome back to We'll Run For It. This is your host Tom, and with me as always are Erin.
Hello.
Michael.
Hello.
And Diana.
Hey.
Michael's got a mouthful of balls.
It's true.
Michael
right.
is I guess he's what is it called when you're amping up your protein?
He's meatballing. No.
Meatballing? That's what I call it.
He's literally
Hashtag
eating meatballs. So
Meatballs.
I made
Actually,
Asian
good.
meatballs.
we haven't.
Well, I was telling them that our nephews are very into the gym right now. So they have been doing like aggressive protein. And on Christmas Eve, we went over there and they were getting ready to go to the gym at like 4:00 on Christmas Eve because I guess that's what the bros do. And they were like making pre-workout. And I was
God.
like, what the hell is that?
How old are
I
they?
thought 20 and like 17, 16.
Okay.
At least you know.
And I was like, well, what is that? Is it like protein? And they well, first, that was like a ridiculous question, number one, that I didn't understand what pre-workout was. But apparently it's just like caffeine. I was like, you don't need that. They're also not.
Oh,
I feel like eventually they might need something like that. But first off, they're young. And second, they've got muscles, but they're not bodybuilders. Like one's like a swimmer. Like they've got lean bodies.
Yeah. I mean, because they're 17 and 20, they haven't quite gotten to the point where their metabolisms have decided that they hate them.
Yeah.
And just stop working.
Yeah.
And they literally will go from the gym to Chipotle every single time.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That's funny.
That was like me yesterday. I got off the Peloton and then what was I just eating? Cookies. I think I was just eating cookies all day.
Oh my God.
It's between Christmas and New Year's where we're recording.
Like nothing matters.
So,
I know. Nothing
Nothing
matters in the
matters.
world.
We're in the dead zone.
yeah.
It has been a while, but
It has been forever since we recorded. I don't even know what it's like to record anymore.
I know. It's been
we're
crazy.
professionals.
We've been really busy. And then,
been
as per
crazy.
usual, I wanted to do nothing this week. And all this stuff keeps popping up. Like, we had like a family funeral. We had all this like random stuff where I have to put pants on. And so I'm glad I took off the couple days after New Year's Eve. And then I did this last year and I loved it. I took off the first Monday of the year. So I did it again this year. So I'm not going back to work till the 7th.
Oh my
So
God.
that's
That's
nice.
amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting. I'm
That's
just
amazing.
sitting. I've got
I
a
mean,
couple
I'm
things I'm doing
retired
tomorrow.
now, so I went and
Jealous.
visited some friends this past weekend, and now my plan until we leave for marathon weekend is to be a curmudgeon on this couch.
Yep, you should be.
It's true.
Michael, do we have any new 5-star reviews?
Oh God, look,
You know,
Tom's moving
here's-
us along.
Here's the thing. I don't know because Chartable shut down.
What is
Mm.
Chartable?
It was the thing where we got an
It was
email,
just like a service. It would send you.
and it would
email
tell
you
us when we
the
had reviews
reviews and stuff.
So now we don't get
So-
that.
Yeah. I know I'd
Um,
said I'd ride 100 miles if we got 5 reviews. I don't think we did. But if we did, you're going to have to email them to us because I can...
No, we can also just
no,
like...
because then you have to search country by country. That's not happening.
Yeah, but I mean, we can at least go on here and see whether there was anything
Oh.
that happened. Which the last one was by JSwan93 on December 2nd.
Oh, John.
Yeah, did we read this one?
No,
I think we
didn't.
did. We didn't?
I don't think so.
Yeah, because legendary Bill Stewart was the last one we read. So Jay Swan
Oh,
says, I love the show. I'm going to read this one because I'm the one who has
Go
it up.
for it.
I love the show. I finally figured out how to review podcasts and was the first to recommend Will Run For. I enjoy
Aw.
their take on running and recap on adventures and real life experiences they have. The team, Tom, Diana, Erin, and Michael, gel and make the show an enjoyable listen when you're commenting home or on your runs.
When you're coming home or commuting.
Commuting.
I assume that's commuting.
Commenting home?
Look,
oh, yeah. Or during your runs.
We all know what the Apple keyboard is like at this point.
It's true.
It's insane.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
It's somehow worse than it was when it was first
and
made.
autocorrect and predicts, like, changes things that you don't
So
even
bad.
see, and you're like,
So
wait,
bad.
like, why would you think that was what I was trying to say?
It changes things to incorrect spellings.
Like, I literally had the correct thing, and then you changed it to something completely different.
Yeah, it's somehow worse than the original iteration of the phone, whatever it was, 12 years ago or 13 years ago.
Yeah.
But you could listen to John on an Inside the Runner studio.
Yes,
It was 1 or 2 back.
Two
back. Yes, because we had Erica, the last one. So.
Yeah, we've
Erica.
had a
Not
little...
that Erica, the other one. We had
runs, I forgot that we have, but we also do have Erica.
We do have her coming up as well. We have.
I was like, didn't we talk to her?
Yes, we did.
Yes.
Did you see that? Did you see that On the Runs had Bex Gentry on their podcast?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Who
All
that
right,
is.
on the runs.
Yeah, with Ashley from iFit, that when they did the world
I know who
thing.
that is.
Yeah, when
She's
they did the...
Bex is a Peloton.
Yeah,
Instructor.
both
okay.
of them did the 7 marathon.
Oh, they did the
thing.
world.
Yeah, they did
okay.
the world.
Yeah, gotcha.
And so they had both of them on
That's cool.
together.
Like, who does Eric and Erica know that can?
I think they've had
They've had
Ashley
on before.
before.
Yeah. Yeah, they're getting famous, man. They're
They're working
making it up in the world.
Their logo
man.
is a poop emoji.
Interesting what happens when you actually, I don't know, work at
Put
something.
effort.
Maybe that should be my goal for next year, is to do something with this podcast.
I wouldn't change a thing.
You know what? I love our podcast.
No,
We've got-
this is the right amount of commitment right here.
Yeah.
Got the special sauce.
Yeah. It's been a while.
I mean, maybe if all 4 of us were retired and not just one of us, it would be different.
But even as a retired person, I have this thing called cancer.
Yeah,
and life
you don't
is
really have
hard.
time to.
Yep.
Life is hard right now.
Yeah. Well, that was our 5-star review. Thanks, John. If you would like to leave a review, please do. If you've left one internationally, please let us know. And if I have to do my 100-mile ride, I will. But yeah, share the show, all that stuff. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
It's been a while.
Speaking of, it's been a while. What are we running for this week?
Oh God.
I'll
Right,
go
doing that?
first.
Oh, okay, I'll go first.
Look, I'm keeping us on track.
I feel like this is a spoiler that you're going into.
It's not really a spoiler. I just want to do one thing that I said I would, and I'm currently in huge air quotes training for Donna, and I just need to do that. Like, I keep making myself one after another empty promises to buckle down and do some stuff, and
Small goals.
Yes,
You need
start
increments.
I am
Start
very.
small.
I went out today and I got 7 miles in,
That's a
That's
lot of
good.
miles.
and I didn't-
That's a lot
That's
of
a big-
commitment.
and I didn't die. So
But I'm
Well,
talking about with your goals. Like you're
Yeah.
always like,
You got
I'm
the
gonna
half coming
do
up, yeah.
these 1,000 things, and then it becomes overwhelming. You need to say like, I'm going to do something reasonable.
Yes.
okay,
Be consistent between now and Donna is a great goal.
that's
Listen, I just
if I
want
can
to tell
get
you,
that.
Tom,
yes, ma'am.
and I'll give you a little health update in a little bit. But your level of commitment to like the running part of it doesn't need to be that good if you're planning to stick with me, because there'll be 80 or 98% of it will be walking.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I'm training for.
I'm familiar with walking.
Yeah, because I can't really run. So we'll get into that in a little bit. So we have 29 people signed up for my team,
Mhm.
Woo!
and we will be 29 people just walking for
God,
like 4 hours.
I've got a bunch of miniatures I think I should bring.
yes, you should.
I'm just going to bring them.
Oh,
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
is
if you're-
there a
I mean,
way-
if you're walking,
Can if we're walking, like, can I carry, like, some type of little, because they're gross when they're warm. Like, can I put them in, like, a plastic
little
baggie
mini
with
cooler?
ice
Oh,
and then
you know
put
what I
that,
got?
like,
We get
in
these
something that I carry and throw away.
insulation things from Factor.
Oh, yeah.
I can make a pouch out of them, and you can
Mm.
drop them in there with an ice pack and wear a
There's-
vest like it's a bladder, but
Oh.
have cold libations in your back.
There's
instead
no
of
way.
bladder.
There's no way they don't make a fanny pack that's insulated like that.
Oh, I guess I could just wear a fanny pack.
Like that
and put
has
some
to
ice.
exist.
It doesn't need to be like super insulated. It just
Yeah, you
needs
just want it to be
be
cool. Yeah.
cool. Like I just don't because it gets all hot on your body. Like have you
Yeah.
ever had like, and I know my audience and they listen to this podcast, so I know most of you guys have done this. Have you ever run with like alcohol in your pocket? by like the end or middle of the race, it's hot because it's got all your body heat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's just
At Space Coast, that's what we were doing. We were drinking
Oh, they
like
were
hot
so hot.
shots. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
they're so
Hot
gross.
shots.
Hot shots.
Hot
That's-
shots.
Charlie
Guys, I have
Sheen's best movie.
my big toenails hanging on by a thread, by the way.
Michael.
He
Michael.
keeps showing it to me too. The other day, like I'm just sitting there, and all of a sudden he's got his toe in the air. He's like, "Oh, look!" And I like because he didn't like preference what I was
What a
supposed to be
jump
looking
scare.
at, right? And so I turn, and it's just his toenail hanging in the air at me.
Ugh.
Look at that cat.
Ollie
Look
is
at that
like,
cat's belly.
Ollie's living life. Ollie's living life. Well, I'm running for a couple things. First is I'm continuing to drink eggnog until the first of the year, so I'm on my strict eggnog cycle. It's the eggnog portion of the year. I actually got a slut for eggnog sweatshirt this year, so
I saw
That's
it. It was
fun.
cute. Yeah, that was cute.
I got my brother one that says "slut for deviled eggs," and he literally just took off what he was wearing and put it on Christmas morning.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. And so that's really what I'm honestly running for because I gotta do enough to work off the eggnog. But I just want to. I took a break. After the Oktoberfest 5-miler and haven't really been running. I did but we walked it because we walked it with the baby, the Celtic Solstice 5-miler. So I did that, but we walked it. I haven't been running because I'm trying to stay honest to my health and my goals and listening to my body. And so I actually took a break. So I'm
Nice.
just starting to pick back up. I've been doing the Peloton a lot. I've been doing a ton of strength. So I'm gonna start walk running a little bit more. I think my fitness level is fine to do the 13 miles. But I just don't want to be super miserable. So I'm gonna just keep doing that. So yeah, consistency and walk run training. I've been doing a little bit of walking, but I have not gone out and I've not gone outside for a run since October.
Mm. I am running because I realized I have a race in like 2.5 months.
Oh my God.
And not just like a race. He has like a 50-miler with like 8,000 feet of elevation.
So I was like, oh, got to get back. So I'm going to, for the next, I think I have about 8 weeks of training I can do for it, which is fine. I'm starting from a pretty decent base. So I just got to do some climbing on the treadmill since.
Yeah, I saw
that's it.
you did a 4-mile the other day with like a ton of elevation.
Yeah.
Mm.
So little running, little climbing, little biking, just kind of keeping the same thing I did for the 100. So
Just casual 50 miles.
yeah,
I don't
that's
know how
all
you guys do that.
in the desert.
Goo actually just did that. We had dinner with them last night and we were talking about like what races we've done. He's like, oh yeah, I just signed up for JFK. Did that. I
Oh,
was like,
man.
isn't that
Yeah.
50?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Like,
like
yeah.
50. That was always one that was on our bucket list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's no longer on my well, maybe it is. I don't know. Who knows? But
Yeah, he kind of signed up for it
yeah.
last one. Did you see the dude that won it? He's like a cross country skier. He was doing like 630s the entire time.
Oh yeah. Once they get on that towpath, they fly.
He broke like all the record. It was crazy.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's insane.
People are really like pushing the time limits on those like
Mhm.
50s and 100s and stuff. It's
Yeah.
crazy
Yeah.
how fast people are pushing.
Yeesh.
So, I am not running. So there is nothing that I'm running for.
Well, it's because I
Um,
grounded you. You're not
I
allowed.
feel like I should give my little health update now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So back in September, I had some palliative radiation because I was in some pain. Turns out that I regret doing that now. I mean, I didn't know.
Yeah,
You know,
it's one of those things.
you
Yeah.
don't know what you don't know. So in November, I started having some heart rate issues where my heart rate was regularly over like between 100 and 120. And I went to my regular appointment. I mentioned that. This was like maybe 2 weeks after the New York City Marathon. They asked me if I was having any shortness of breath, and I was like, I don't know. Like, I guess like when I went up the stairs, like I felt a little short of breath. So they decided to do a CT to make sure that like I didn't have a pulmonary embolism or like anything was wrong. Then it came back and they were like, "Oh, you have pneumonia." And I was like, "Really? Okay." Did not expect that at all because I had no cough. I had no like other signs or symptoms other than I was having some shortness of breath. They put me on an antibiotic. I had another regularly scheduled appointment. I was doing okay. I had some shortness of breath though still. And that night, actually, ironically, after I had that appointment, after they were like, "You look great for having pneumonia," and I was like, "Okay." I started having these really awful back pains. And within like 2 days, I backslid so far. And I was having like muscle spasms and I was in so much pain. Michael had to like dress me the one day because I couldn't even lift my arms. And I was getting real worried. So at some point, I just looked at him and said, "We have to go to the ER. Something is not right." By the time I got to the ER, my pulse ox was at 89.
And what is that? Is that your just your pulse, or is that
No, that's
what
your
is that?
oxygen
The
level.
oxygen
Gotcha,
level.
again.
Yeah.
Which is 95 is like acceptable, but like most people are like 96 to 98. So 89 anything under 90 starts to become like you need
Dangerous.
oxygen. Yeah. So
Okay.
they had to give me oxygen immediately. They did another CT that within an hour of us being there, they're like, "Your pneumonia got worse," after I had been on like this high dose antibiotic. Pulmonologist came in, basically said, "We want to take a look at where your when they did the radiation, they like put little tattoos, like dot tattoos on you to like line up where they're gonna put the machine for the radiation." And they looked at it and they said, only your left lung is having an issue. Like if you had pneumonia, it would be on both sides of your lungs. And ultimately, they said, "We don't think that this is pneumonia. We think that it is radiation pneumonitis, which is lung damage from radiation, basically." They ended up doing a bronchoscopy to try and figure out whether there was any cultures or bacteria in my lungs. Nothing ever grew. So in the end, it was not pneumonia, and it ended up being this pneumonitis. So I'm on a high dose steroid. My panic immediately was, will I be able to run again? Because they're talking lung damage. Fibrosis is when there's scar tissue on your lungs. They said that there was none, so that meant that so far there's no permanent damage, so it was caught in time. In talking with everyone, it seems both good and bad, right? Like I have great lung health from like running marathons and being healthy and doing all this stuff. But part of the problem was that because my lungs are so strong, they compensated almost too much, that on a normal person who might have some shortness of breath, they would have caught it almost immediately. But because it took so long for my lungs to be like, "Hey, something is wrong," it was like 2 weeks longer than like maybe an average person into it before they actually realized that something was wrong, like actually really wrong.
So what causes, is it the radiation is going after something it shouldn't be? Like,
Yeah, I mean, it basically mimics the like pneumonia because there's fluid on that side. There's it basically inflames the lung and then causes the shortness of breath, and because you're short of breath, it causes fluid and like all of that. But because my lungs were strong, I compensated for it, and it just took too long for me to figure out that there was really something wrong. So by the time I figured it out, I was so far gone, and now my entire body is trying to catch up. So everything hurts. Like, I mean, I'm still in chronic pain right now. It's been kind of rough. So I am not running. I am listening to all of these people. Obviously, my fear of not ever being able to run again was great. And it's funny because I had a therapist appointment like after all of this, and I've been with him for like 6 months, and he's great. And I was like telling him how, like, you know, with the pain in my back and my chest, I was like afraid that the cancer had spread, and I was like spiraling about that. And then I said something about like the lung damage and never being able to run again, and I was so upset, and I like going and talking about running. And he's like, can we just pause for a second? I was like, okay. He's like, you know, running has always come up organically. Like we've talked about for the six months, we've been saying you're a runner. You talk about running all the time, how much the marathon meant to you, yada, yada, yada. And he's like, I think this is the first time that I'm really like understanding something though about you. I was like, okay. He's like, I feel like you put the fact that you might never be able to run it again over top of the fact that your cancer may have spread. Like you're more upset. You are more upset about the fact that you may never be able to run again than the fact that your cancer could have spread. And I was like, yes, because,
sit your ass down.
And he was like, I always knew you were a runner. Like we've talked about this. Like it comes up organically, but like I don't think that I ever fully understood like your identity like forms around being a runner.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's interesting because I've seen this manifest with you a lot of different ways. And that episode where we were talking about like the emotions of running you were and how you were talking. We had a friend who Tom grew up with who doesn't listen to the show often, but he listens randomly. And when he saw us, he came up to me and he's like, I was listening to your podcast. He's like, is your friend okay? Because the way she was talking, and he like was concerned, like, because the way she was talking about running and it being part of her identity, you were talking about it how if you didn't do a particular race, it wasn't you were letting yourself down, you were letting other people down. And it should never be like that. And he was like, is she okay? Like he was like really concerned. You know, and I said
I said to him, I don't think it's even the fact that I couldn't run. It's not even like I need, for my mental health, I need activity, whether it's Pelotoning, whether it's walking, just the idea that like if there's lung damage that I wouldn't even be able to be active or get out or like get to hike or do things that aren't, even if you told me I could never run again, I would still want to be able to do something from active. And so your lungs, no matter what you're doing, whether you're Pelotoning, whether you're hiking, whether you're walking, like you need your lungs for that. And so that's the part that like the idea that I have to become just a couch goblin for the rest of my life without being able to like move at all, that's the part that like is hard for me. So I don't want to get to a point where I cannot heal myself.
Yeah. But in order to be able to heal yourself, you have to get strong. So you have to be a couch goblin and let yourself get strong so you can fight it.
Yeah, well, I think you do have
Well, I think that I'm doing a good job of that right now.
Yeah, you did the few weeks where you need, and I think now you can start like maybe doing a little yoga and stuff
well,
like
I
that.
think I need to do yoga because all of my muscles are just
everything's
like
just sore
Sore.
from not moving.
Like everything is just like, and I just need to stretch it out a little. But I mean, I'm not like doing anything more than just
No,
like some
you
gentle
you still
like.
aren't really allowed to
No.
exert yourself
No,
until after the
no.
next appointment, right?
Well, they said I should at least be on the steroid for 4 weeks, and I'm on this high dose steroid. It's like 60 milligrams of the steroid. The first week, I went absolutely. Apparently, it creates psychosis. And
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
I talked to the palliative care
It
team this
definitely
week when I
did.
went, and she was like, "Oh my god!" And then they put me on this muscle relaxer, and she was like, "I would have
Oh.
never put you on that with all the other things you have going
It
on."
was something. It was a wild night.
I was having like these weird hallucinations.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I was
Oh my
like I
God.
was like yelling at Michael because he was on the couch. I started crying because I saw black and blue on my arm. Like I just like everything was just like
It was crazy.
it was psychotic.
So would you say not having any more medically induced
I mean,
hallucinations?
It's a goal of mine. Yeah.
does she have anything else she needs to update us on?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Oh,
to
I have an
Diana.
update from earlier in the episode. I got my toenail off.
Oh my
so it's
god,
all
That's
so
good.
disgusting.
gross. Disgusting.
God.
Why? Why?
No.
I turned the
No.
other way though.
No. I think that's really it. I just wanted to like I'm not running, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. I'm not doing dopey.
No.
That was I think one of the tougher pills to swallow because this will be the 3rd year in a row that for marathon. So next year I'm not signing up for anything for marathon weekend because I cannot do this again.
Just go
No.
next year. That's all.
I'm not even signing up for anything because 2 years ago I had the stress fracture, so I didn't do the marathon for dopey. I did the other 3 races. Last year I got diagnosed with cancer and didn't finish DNF to the marathon.
Oh, you did walk the half though.
No,
Yeah.
it was 7. It was the half of the half.
Yeah, but you finished it.
Well, I mean, because it was only half of a half.
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
would have
but-
finished the half
yeah, you could have
marathon
finished
though.
it.
Yeah, but
you walked 18 miles on the marathon.
Yeah, but I
so.
don't know that I would have gone. 16, but I don't know I would have gone as far on the marathon.
I agree
then.
with that.
Like,
yeah.
you know,
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
total mileage wise.
Yes.
For that weekend.
I
But
agree,
anyway, and then this year I now won't do any of dopey. So I thought about walking the 5K this weekend, though. I'm like really sore still. I think I
would
need to
just be
just. I
careful,
just need
yeah.
to not.
Yeah.
So.
And don't feel
I
like
had
you have to get up and be there at 5 a.m. every day.
I had
you
a
know?
friend
like,
that suggested, well, so the other tough pill to swallow, and it's hard because I listened to the episode because we were doing our goals. And of course, it was the episode where we announced that Sam had passed away
Oh yeah.
at the beginning of the
Mhm.
episode. I mean, part of my reason for doing dopey this year was for Sam. And I have all of my shirts that say "Another Day, Another Race." And
Yep, I got
so,
mine too.
like, it's like because I was wearing them for all 4 races because it was like the tribute to Another Day, Another Race. So somebody was like, "Well, you could walk 1 mile of every one, so that it's like 1 mile, like it's still doing Another
Yeah.
Day, Another Race." But I don't know if I don't know.
That's tough to wake up.
Wake
that
up for
early.
just to get the mile in and then DNF. I don't like. Yeah,
just
I
a
don't
lot.
know.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You were scared, and Michael, you were scared out of us. And when you had pneumonia before it was even the other stuff, I was talking to Tom about how I wanted, and I was getting the courage up to have a come to Jesus talk with you to tell you not to do Jopie because I was like, she's flipping me out. She needs to sit down. I understand she wants to do this stuff, and like she's just scaring me, and she needs to stop. Like I was like working my way up to being like I have to like have like a conversation with Erin that she needs to sit down. And then Michael's like, I'm the one telling her to do it. And I was like, I needed to talk to you.
Well, no. I mean, the doctors
Well,
pretty
he
much
kept-
took it off the board.
He
Yeah.
kept saying that he wanted to push me. I'm like I that's mentally
like-
also that's hard. Like I don't. Yeah.
That was
There's a
earlier in
different
the year,
there's
though. That
there's
wasn't, like,
very
now.
different levels of pushing.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, push! Oh,
No, he
oh,
wanted to
no,
like
no, no, no.
literally push
I'm
me.
sorry, actual
He wanted
push.
to like put me
Physically
in a
push
chair
you.
and
Yeah,
physically
yeah,
push
yeah.
me.
Yeah, I said I would
In a
push her for the whole
chair.
thing. Yeah, or push her for the marathon at least because I don't have a half bib, so I couldn't push
Oh
her.
my god.
Yeah.
But yeah. let your body is strong. You just have to give it rest so it is strong.
Yeah, I mean it's not strong right now. It's been a rough ride. Yesterday I had like a huge emotional breakdown. My body is like so puffy. I've gained so much weight from this steroid. I look like Stay Puff. I don't know. I don't know. Everything, it's just, nothing fits. I hate everything about my life right now.
Well, I think you look fabulous. I didn't know. And you post a lot, so I notice.
Oh God. It's been rough. It's been a rough one.
Mm-hmm. Well, think of me. You're stressing me out more than what's going on with your body.
So yeah, that's my little update.
Yeah.
That's why
You're
we're
grounded.
recording this late.
Oh yeah.
Because
Multiple hospital days.
Yeah.
Kind of messed up recording.
Yeah, I mean, low on the list of things, I guess.
Yeah, it wasn't something.
We've always said that, we record as we can when we can with everything that's going on. So,
yeah. But we'll be down at Marathon Weekend.
Yeah, the number of people that ask me, "Are you still coming to Marathon Weekend?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Everyone forgets that Michael runs Disney and that he's still signed up for races. They're like, "Oh, yeah."
That's because I don't run any races with anybody.
I know. So, but like people just don't remember that you also do run Disney. So everyone's like, "Oh, so does that mean you guys aren't going to come?" I'm like, "No, Michael's still running races."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, we like
I
to
actually
go
wasn't
cheer
sure if you were going to go down at all. Like, I didn't know if it was going to be too hard for you.
I mean, it's going to be probably a little harder this year than I think it's because coming out of New York, I was really excited because I was like, this is it. Like I did New York. I'm finally like ready to do Dopey. I'm actually going to get to do Dopey this time. And then that spiraled really quickly around Thanksgiving. And I think being so close to the races, it's been a little bit of a harder pill to swallow than if like, when I had the stress fracture, like I pulled that off the table in like October knowing I wasn't going to do it. I just think that being so close and like coming out of New York on a high, I think it's been a little tougher.
Well, you were scaring me at New York as well. I almost had a conversation with you before you did that as well. I've been very worried.
You were fine in New York, though.
New York was fine. New York was great.
Yeah.
It just like 2 weeks after that, it went down real fast. Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe I'm overreacting. I don't know if anybody else has been feeling what I've been feeling, but you've been stressing me the hell out. So.
My bad.
Oh, God. Well, your goal needs to be to focus on yourself and get yourself healthy and not worried about random goals.
Good job.
I guess. I don't know.
And now, it's time for our Will Run 4 Goal Getters. Congrats on making your goals, you getters. Oh, do rest the shit.
So this is where we recap the goals that we set for 2024.
Yep.
I mean, this will be short.
Yeah.
I hope Michael leaves some of this in so people know what a mess we are. They know.
So far, I don't think you should edit any of it.
Leave all the order for the crab ragoon.
Yes.
This feels like what 2024 felt like.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am very excited for 2024 to go the F away.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so I'll go first. So we're talking about goals that we set at the beginning of last year, I guess this year, and whether or not we accomplish them. Oh God. So my goals were to lose weight, not feel terrible, get consistency back into running,
Not feel terrible.
do the Great Saunter again, maybe, do Loopy Looper, cut out sugary drinks, and not overwhelm myself. I did Loopy Looper,
Yes, you did.
You did do Loopy Looper.
and that's about it from that list of things.
What do you mean not feel terrible? Like, what was that in context?
I think it was I want to lose weight so that when I'm running, I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
feel terrible.
I think that was the conversation.
And I can proudly report from my 7-miler today that I still feel terrible. So
I asked him how it went.
that was awful. It was actually very nice outside, but
Oh, it was,
He was-
yeah.
so-
And as per usual, he wore a hoodie. So
Oh
I
my God,
did.
it was so hot.
It was
Oh.
so hot. Like I have people out there with no shirt on, and I'm just sweating up a storm. So yeah, I did not meet the goals that I had set for last year.
Well, that's okay.
I had a couple good running events. Like I feel like I felt really good at Springtime Surprise.
Yeah, I remember that.
Maybe it's a tale of two halves of the year because the second half of the year I kind of just downward spiraled into cookies and sweet iced tea. So
Well, I think because you had that doctor's appointment like right at Christmas time last
Oh,
year,
yeah.
where they said that you had high blood pressure.
yep.
That you got kind of super motivated with that, and then you got put on the medication, and that regulated you. So then I feel like you kind of were like, well, I don't have to do anything else because the medicine's fixing it.
Is it on the wagon or off the wagon? Which one? Because I did the bad one. I was like, medicine's fixing this. I can have a giant root beer at every lunch.
Oh, God.
It's
Oh,
terrible.
my
It's
God.
not good. I drink my calories more than anybody should ever drink their calories. So wasn't a great 2024 goal wise.
But how about the rest of the year?
It was fine. We did a lot. We did an extreme amount of things. It's kind of a blur. We took some trips.
I mean, you saw Taylor.
No, that was the year
the year before.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that's right. I forgot her tour was
It
long.
was like almost 2 years.
yeah,
Yeah.
2 years. Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
We
Yeah.
we went to the Eras tour so long ago. Maddie Healy was there.
Oh, my God.
yeah.
So yeah, not to be a Debbie Downer, I just did not do what I kind of said I was going to do.
Womp womp.
And
Well,
I think
It
looking-
happens.
yeah, well, and I think we're not gonna talk about next year just yet, but I think that's gonna kind of inform how I approach goal setting for next year.
Good idea.
We already have some races. Like again, we have the Donna coming up. We have Springtime Surprise coming up. I'm definitely thinking about some other fall things that might be a longer distance. But
I've got
yeah.
some thoughts about that.
Uh-oh.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you
she,
do.
She definitely does.
But we'll wait till February when we do our 2025 goal episode for that.
Yes, those plans will be better formed by that
then.
recording.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So yeah, that's me. I don't feel bad
Do you
about it.
feel
I just
good? I
This is
was
a
kinda,
real
gonna say,
question.
do
Do
you
we do
feel
this in 2
good?
separate episodes?
I mean, I don't like. It is what it is. It was a tough year, but if I think about the people that I surround myself with, it was tougher for other people. So complaining about me not having a good diet, and that's 100% self-inflicted, is not a good perspective to have, right?
Well,
like I can't just complain
I mean,
about
diet,
things.
Relative.
sure,
It's all
but
relative,
like
yeah.
in general,
It's all relative. No, yeah, but
everything is relative to you. And it's something I always say because everyone's like, oh, well, you have cancer, so I can't complain. But like, no, like everyone has their thing and everyone is allowed, like everyone's things are allowed to be as big for where they are in life. So, you know.
And I'm a proponent of that, as you've seen.
No, I'm just not going to sad sack it about not, being as successful this past year as I could have been. But there's always tomorrow, I guess.
I mean, what is one thing that you are proud of that you did this year?
That's a great question.
Because, I mean, even if you don't accomplish your goal, like the specific goals that you have, there's
Yeah, any
always something
highlights?
that, like, that you should be proud of. And, like, we should talk about that. So what is one thing that you are proud of that you did this year? It doesn't even have to be in running. We can come back to that. You can think about it a little longer because I'm going to ask every single one of you the same question.
I guess in my head, at definitely the last half of the year, I put up some boundaries and I've been really trying to stick to them, and not really dwell on the past or anything like that, and just really focus on the people that are around me that support me, that I support them, and like I feel like nostalgia in general dictates a lot of how I feel and the way that I view things. And that can be a good thing and that could be an incredibly toxic thing.
Yeah.
So, I think coming to the realization that, when you're in your 40s, things aren't going to drastically change in terms of like your routine, or maybe not even just your routine, but like I guess I don't care what anybody else is doing, and it doesn't impact me in the slightest.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, and I'm sick of apologizing for that.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I mean, I feel like mental health is, because we've talked about this with Diana a lot too. Like, she had the year of her mental health and like physical, re-listening to her, the episode today. I think mental health is just as important as physical health sometimes, and like learning those lessons and taking those lessons away is just as important sometimes.
I think 2025 should be the year of your mental health. I think you need to get into therapy. I think you need all the good things.
Yeah.
He's tangled. Hold on.
Oh, the dog. Okay, there he is.
Okay.
All right. Who's next?
Let's see if I can remember mine. Because I didn't write them down.
I should have taken notes for everybody.
I should have taken notes too. I forgot. Well, I know riding more was one of them. And I did do a lot of Peloton, and then actually bought a bike and did a lot of
Yes, that was
cycling.
one
That
of
was
the
a
things you
maybe
talked
goal.
about. That was a
Yep,
maybe
that
goal
was-
of yours. Yep.
So I
And
did
you were like,
that.
maybe I'll do a century ride. I think at one point.
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't do that this year. I'll probably do that next year. I probably could have pushed to do it in the fall.
You
but we
should
just
do it
had
because
to-
Frumpa signed up for Spellbound, thinking that you were going to do Spellbound with him
When's that?
in July.
This year?
Well, not this,
Coming up?
coming up. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I just gotta, I don't know.
It's around the
July's-
corner. It's not like it's far from here.
Is it? Where's it at?
Spellbound?
Yeah,
It's like in Mount Holly.
gotcha. Sounds good. I don't know what's gonna happen in July, so yeah, sounds good. I'll sign up for it. So it looks like I'm doing Century Ride. Anyway, I think it was just like about consistency. I definitely didn't. I think I joked about
Yep.
speed work, which I
You
never
said
did.
that you were finally in a place where you didn't care about doing races.
Oh, that's true.
Yes.
That held through the whole year, really. Although I mean, I did races.
that you
but-
wanted to be consistent, but
Yeah.
you didn't need a race to help you get to that consistency anymore.
Yeah, I stayed pretty consistent. I probably had my lowest running mileage in a while, but I did a lot more biking, and I actually did some workouts also during the year. Recently, that's fallen off, but
Were you feeling better kind of mixing it up and not just doing running?
yeah, especially the biking.
Yeah.
I definitely felt it helped a lot with some races.
I mean, you did a 100-miler this year.
yes.
I mean, I feel like that was a
That was definitely a goal. You definitely
like
said,
you-
I'm going to try for a 100-miler this year.
Yeah, I said I was probably going to try for another 100.
yeah.
so,
You, I'm like, you missed the biggest
Or
thing
another
that you
try for
achieved
100.
this year.
I was getting there. The biking helped get there, actually.
Yeah.
Because I think my highest running mileage week going into that was like, I think I did a 60-mile week or something.
I didn't even think you hit that. Did you?
50 something. Yeah, I had one week where I might have. But like I did one week like that, and then I dropped off and did like 30, and then like, or I did like 50 running and 50 biking or something like that. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, you were very good at like variety and making sure you're cross training and not overworking your legs.
Yeah. I was doing everything time based, which I'm still doing, just time based stuff. I am trying to work on speed a little bit though, because I've really like slacked off on that. So like for years. But yeah, no, that was all. I think to eat better, which I did most of the year until like the last 2 months, and then or actually the last month, it's been a mess.
Yeah,
So,
we've been a pretty big mess since for.
Yeah, so I actually did well with the eating thing until about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Well, I mean, the holidays, right?
Well, no, it was just because of we went away, and then
Mm-hmm.
the whole hospital thing, and just everything's been all over the place since then. So it's been like,
And then we went to Vegas and
is that
ate
what
the
it-
buffet.
Yeah, then we ate it
Like
at
where
Caesars
yeah.
and Wynn
Oh my
buffets
God.
and had like 40,000 calorie meals.
Yeah,
or
we
whatever.
walked
God.
out of those 2 meals like we were like
Oh,
my
yeah.
God, 50 pounds heavier.
They were so good though. I probably
So
had like
good.
40 sushi rolls at the one. But I think I did pretty well on my goals.
Yeah, I mean, you ran your 100-miler. I'm super proud of you.
Yeah,
Me
I mean, I
too.
guess that was the main goal. And I wasn't even super, because I don't think there was any way to be sure of anything at the beginning of the year. So,
Yeah, which I mean, I don't even think at that point we were sure whether or not you were going to sign up for
yeah,
a big
Hainesport
race
was
like
Yeah.
that.
not even on
That
the
wasn't even on
radar.
the
until-
radar.
I think I signed up in the summer,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, there were a
probably
bunch
be
of
similar
maybes.
this year. Yeah. Play it by ear this year, do stuff locally.
Yeah.
Except for the first race, or that's technically the third race. I don't know why I'm glossing over 2 marathons like they're not races, but yeah, Mesquite Canyon is the one doing in March, the 50.
And you're signed up for Donna Marathon, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a training run.
Yeah, you're the only. Is he the only one doing the marathon? Who's doing the marathon?
I thought
Yes.
Salon was.
Salon was, but apparently she possibly is moving to another state, so she may not be coming anymore.
I guess I'll be running the marathon.
Yeah, I don't think she ever ended up signing up for it because, so I think you're solo on that one.
All right, sounds good. Can I finish the marathon before you guys saunter around the half?
Probably.
Probably, yeah.
Listen, we have like 7 hours to finish the half marathon.
That's fair.
So
Take your
like,
time. What the hell?
Who knows what's going to happen on that course?
Although I don't know, walking is really. I always forget how hard walking is
It's hard.
we walked Celtic Solstice like the 5 miles, and I was like, God, we've been out here forever.
Yeah. At least if you have a big group and some alcohol, though.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I think a little bit better. It was cold.
Yeah, hopefully
Miserable.
it's February, so hopefully it'll be like a decent weekend in
Yeah.
Florida, but
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, are you gonna ask Erin what he was it the 100-miler he's most proud of?
Yeah, what's the one thing that you are most proud of for this year?
probably staying consistent
Okay.
Yeah.
just in general, because that was harder than the one-off events.
Yeah.
You know, I stayed pretty consistent all year. Like the last, I would say last like 6 weeks since Hainesport. It's been 6 weeks or 8 weeks, whatever it's been. I've been doing pretty light work, you know.
Yeah, but you still, even because I'm looking at your ride miles, I mean, you've still been getting over 20 miles every week in rides.
Yeah, I'm more at like 6 hours a week. when I was,
And
yeah.
your runs have been light. I mean, light again. He has like a 19-mile week in here for a run and a 40-mile bike ride week. So I mean, like, quote unquote light.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I've been doing everything very easy to last, except for the only thing I ran hard was Frosty, because it was literally 12 hours after she got out of the hospital.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm not really going to be able to run this entire race anyway. There's no way I'm going to be able to do 8 hours, because she just was like, I needed to get home like as soon as she woke up.
Yeah, I made
so.
him go do Frosty still. We didn't actually end up talking about that because we had Allie Stover here.
Brianna
And then Liz.
and Liz.
And I knew that they were all coming in. So I was like, you need to go do and see them and do Frosty. I'll be fine. And then
I got there, I realized I had no watch. And I'm standing there, I'm like, yeah, I got no watch. And Allie's like, I have no water bottle.
yeah, Allie had a race where she was like, everything that could go wrong went wrong.
Oh my
I was like,
God.
Yeah.
I was like, this is
Seriously?
going great for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, I'm only going to have so much time. So I was like, I'm just going to run hard, I guess. And I had no idea what pace I was running because I had no watch.
That's wild.
Oh my god.
So
yeah.
I ended up running like 4 hours. Yeah, so that was like the only time I ran hard, but that was just because I had to get back here realistically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Weren't hours before you were trying to get Erin to still do a few miles on that?
Probably.
Probably.
Knowing him. No, but I had a couple visitors come stop by, say hi to me, so that was nice.
Yes, yeah.
After I'd gotten out of the hospital, so
Yeah, it was nice
I got
that they
lucky
came
that I
down.
got released the night before, because they at the time they told me that I was not going to go home on that Saturday, and I was sad. And then Megan and Emily came and visited me at the hospital, and they took me for a walk. And I think that I got lucky that the doctor happened to see me walking through the hall, and he was like, "You look pretty good." And so all of a sudden, they were like, "You want to go home?" It's like, "I do. Yes, let me out."
Yes, please.
So I got lucky.
Yeah. That was really hard.
Yeah. So,
Sleep, all that good stuff.
ugh, God, I had the worst roommate.
Oh my
It
god, the roommate
awful.
was so crazy.
So bad.
She was
So bad.
So
She was
crazy.
insane.
Oh my god.
Oh, God.
So Diana, you're looking like a little snacky snack.
Oh, my
These days.
gosh. Yeah, that was one of my goals. I had some other ones that I did not do as well. I think I did about 50-50 with my goals. I did pretty well with a lot of them. So, and some of them I forgot I even said. And I was like, well, that didn't happen. I completely forgot that existed. So one of the things I was talking about was kind of getting to bed at a normal time, having a nighttime routine, getting more sleep, which I think lasted for like 2 weeks, and then
Not doom
didn't
scrolling
happen.
till 2 a.m.
Not doom scrolling until 2 a.m. It still happens on the odd night. I really need to read before bed instead of picking up my phone, because I'm more likely to kind of fall asleep reading than I am.
Yeah.
And
Scrolling.
it's scrolling, because the scrolling is the dopamine, right?
Yeah.
And so it's
Oh,
keeping
yeah.
me awake. So I gotta, like, I don't know, next year I gotta step that up. But so I did not do great with amping up my sleep. But I have been getting up pretty consistent, not super early, but I've been getting up consistently and working out in the morning, which was one of my goals. Because I was having a trouble. If I didn't do it in the morning, I wasn't doing it at all. And just overall, like, being consistent with like a morning workout, and I've done that really well this year. And then on weeks where I get busy and it doesn't happen, or I miss a day, I don't worry about it. I just say, well, I missed a day, and I'm
Yeah.
able to move on. Where, like, I don't know, even this time last year, if that had happened, it would have just thrown me completely off, that I wouldn't have, I may not have worked out the next time. It would all be out the window and all that.
Yeah.
Where now, like, sometimes if I'm busy at work and I end up, I'm not sleeping well because I'm thinking about what I have to do the next day, and I wake up and I just want to get it done rather than working out, and I do that. I just let myself do that.
Ah,
Like,
there you go.
rather than, like, stress out and force myself to work out and force myself to do something that
Yeah.
I really
Sounds like Indy has some feelings about
don't
that.
want to do. He's
He has
whining.
concerns.
He's always got concerns. So that was really something I'm proud of for this year. Also doing more different workouts. I talked about how that I was incorporating that in 2023, and I was super consistent. And actually gotten like a nice little routine of like what I was doing this year. So I did lower body 2 days and upper body 2 days, and I was Pelotoning and running.
Well, you
and
were
then
good
after,
at doing your stacks.
I was really good at
She
doing
was
my
killing it,
stacks.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I do lots of stacks every day. I don't pay attention to where I'm at, and I keep accidentally meeting like big numbers on the Peloton. It'll be like, this was your 700 strength class, and I don't even know it until the class is over. And it's some random one from like six months ago that was like, this one has Backstreet Boy music, and like that's why I picked it. Like, it wasn't. So that keeps randomly happening. So I was really good with my stacks, and I've been doing the Peloton when I can't run. But I do now that I'm actually training for something, I want to get back and doing the treadmill a couple days a week or running
Start getting that,
outside.
yeah.
Start getting that. I liked when I was doing the stair stepper as well. That thing kills me. So I think I want to start doing some more of that. But yeah, I think overall, like my strength game went up a little bit. What I didn't do is I was going to start meditating and drinking more water, and I did neither of those things. So we're gonna push that down the line. I was like, I need to meditate, and I definitely did not.
Slide that off.
And I could have used it, honestly, this year.
I think we could all use a little meditation,
for
but
sure.
you know.
Yep. And then and like Erin mentioned I had a goal for weight loss and my clothes to fit again. And I went a little too close to the sun because now none of my clothes fit because they're all too big.
That's
which is
amazing,
a good thing.
Though. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've lost a significant amount of weight. I mean, it's more than 50 pounds. I'm not going to get into but it's like a lot more than 50 pounds that I've lost. Nothing fits. I'm wearing just leggings. I want to lose probably a few more next year, but I know because like now I'm starting to plateau a little bit. It's not going to come off as quickly. So I want to keep up with that. But yeah, I feel like I had a meltdown last December and then started right before kind of springtime-ish where I'd lost a little weight before springtime and then just kind of kept it up for the rest. I went to the doctor. So I did it all with a doctor. I didn't do it. I don't know, because I was having so much trouble. I was working out 5 or 6 days a week and couldn't lose any weight and starving myself and miserable. So like I finally was like, I need to talk to a doctor, and I did. And yeah, I feel 1,000 times better. So yeah,
well, that's
it's a lot.
fantastic.
So yeah, I'm like, I actually have a pair of jeans that I've kept in a bin from like 2006.
Oh my God.
And they're like low rise. They're not like they're not like 2002 low rise, but they're a little low rise, and they're huge flares, and they're from American Eagle. Like they're great big flares.
Flares are back now. So
and they're all back,
it's like
and they're
perfect.
destroyed. And I was so excited because I was like, oh, I'm going to be able to wear my jeans again, and they're too big.
Oh, that's funny.
So I was like, no.
Oh God.
Oh man.
So yeah, a lot of my stuff is big.
Well, you're gonna have to teach me how to lose weight because I have gained like 40 pounds this year.
Yeah, I mean, I was gaining consistently like 20 pounds a year. So it was, I've gained
a total of probably 40 pounds this year.
Yeah. And I know, like, you're not really supposed to talk about like weight.
I know.
It's more about how you feel. But I feel better.
Yeah. I agree.
When
Whereas
I
I feel gross because I just keep like, and I know I know everyone's like, well, you should be gaining weight.
Well, not
and,
that, but like
you need to be like.
You can't like focus on that kind of thing at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that to a point. However, there is still a point where you have to feel good about yourself and feel good in your skin. And we'll talk about that for my goals for next year. Is just to feel better in my skin again.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm feeling a lot better, more confident, more energy. Like my workouts aren't hurting as much anymore, which is great. I feel like I'm getting stronger. Tom got me heavier weights for Christmas. So I'm upping on my weight. So just kind of keeping up with all of that. But yeah, one of my big things was, hey, I want to fit. None of my clothes were fitting. Yeah, literally nothing fit, and I was miserable.
I think that's kind of how I feel right now. So that's really where that problem comes in.
Yeah,
so I get that.
And I don't know why I'm so emotionally attached to so much shit in my house, like so many like clothes and things like that, because I was taking stuff out of my closet, and I was like, well, I've got to put most of this in bins because if I gain weight again, I'm going to want this back.
Yeah.
And why am I doing that? Like, it's
I don't
probably
know.
not going to
We
be
all do
good
it.
by the time. So I saved like a little bit, and a lot of it's kind of like a lot of my Disney Dapper dresses. Like some of them still fit, some of them don't. So I saved like a couple of those. But I have 4 huge trash bags of clothes that I just put in piles for Goodwill. And then if I gain weight again, that's my punishment that I have to buy new clothes. Like, I don't, that's how I'm going to view it. Like,
Yeah.
honestly. So yeah, I don't know why I get so like, well, one day I'm going to want a purple sweater and I'm not going to have it. And I'm going to get really mad I threw this purple sweater away. Like,
When
it's
you're
all
going to
this,
forget that you even had that purple sweater.
yeah. And, or even like t-shirts. I cannot, and when I talk about my goals for next year, this is like, all this stuff is going to be teetering on it because I've got so many freaking t-shirts from like breweries and like all this random Disney crap. Like I can't do this anymore. I'm it's too much. I have too much
You've reached
stuff.
your breaking point.
I've reached my breaking point, and when I had piles of clothes all around the house yesterday, that's where I was. So that was the end. So last year was my year of physical health. My year before that was mental health. Now, if I think for 2025, when we start talking about that, I'm going to try and tie the two together a little bit better.
Okay. So what's the thing you're most proud of then?
Oh gosh, I think like Michael, I think my consistency. Like I have been super consistent working out about 5 days a week, taking a break when I need to, not letting it like completely mess up. But I mean, I was just looking at my Peloton and it was, weeks and weeks and weeks in a row. And I'm not stressing out that I don't have a blue dot every day because like those are my rest days. Like I
Yeah.
don't care. But just like the consistency of doing something every week. And me looking at like Thanksgiving week and realizing like, oh, it wasn't as much as I wanted it to be. I don't care, but at least I did something. So I think consistency.
That's awesome.
And looking like a little snack, like
It's true.
like a little treat.
I know.
So
She
get
does.
ready. Get
Kinda
ready.
wanna-
Springtime. I came out of the bedroom the other day and I was like, Tom, do you think I can just run in a sports bra? Like, how close am I? So
You totally can. You totally can.
So I'm getting there. So yeah, I'm much more confident.
It's good.
Yeah.
My biggest goal was to not die
Yep.
in every literal sense.
You made it.
So
Mhm.
There you go.
here I
You
am.
made it.
I've survived.
It was a close
Mhm.
call.
It was a close call.
You got 2 more days to be fair.
That's fair.
Oh my god.
The last couple weeks, it felt like
Stay where you are.
Bubble wrap.
Yeah, I mean, outside of that, really, because of where I was at that time, I didn't really want to set goals other than I wanted to make sure that I kept moving. And that's sort of what we just talked about a little while ago, is that would be the thing that if something were to happen to like my lungs or whatever, that I wouldn't be
Mhm.
able to be not even consistent with running. Like I for my mental health, feel like I need to be able to have movement. And so that was my biggest goal going into this year, was knowing that I didn't know what my life was going to look like with treatment and what was going to happen. And I think I did a really good job of, I did a step challenge in like February to like get my steps back up.
Yeah.
I was walking regularly. I started running in the summer, walk running. I was as consistent as I could be considering everything I was going through.
Yeah.
I ended up running the marathon. I wasn't as trained as I, have been in the past, but I felt strong at that time. I mean, I don't feel as strong now because of everything that's happened since, but I think that was my biggest goal, was to just feel strong through the year and let my body tell me what it could do. And even though Diana wanted me to sit down a lot
Mhm.
more, I at least always felt like I could still move, and that was
Yeah.
important to me. And so I think that's always going to be what's important to me, is to continue to move. I mean, I know we're on a running podcast and we talk about running, and maybe one day I'll be able to run again, but that's not my primary goal of life at this point.
Yeah. I mean, and we all go through those periods where, I mean, some of us aren't running as much.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Running, while important to me, I think more so than anything, I just always want to be able to be outside and know that I can move my body forward.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And currently, I can't really do that, so that's a little frustrating. But overall, as a whole year, I would say that I was successful, and the fact that I ran the New York City Marathon, I mean, and raised
Huge.
$6,000 for cancer research.
I think that's incredible.
I think
Huge.
that was probably not just running the New York City Marathon, but the whole experience of running for Fred's team and fundraising, and that was an experience for me. Like, I often do races for fun and other things, but this was like an emotional journey for me.
Mhm.
And I think I needed to know that I could still
Do stuff.
be strong to do stuff.
Yeah.
Let it out. Let it out. Come on.
Look, Erin, it's 5 p.m. It's pitch black outside and it's cold. Like, take this as a win that you can't be out there running.
Yeah.
I know I am.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm proud that I was able to still continue to find a part of myself
Mm-hmm.
that I was afraid I was going to lose.
Yeah.
Well, you're still here.
And we all love you, whether or not you run a race or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know that especially after this whole dopey thing, I don't know that I will be looking to sign up for any races after the Donna. I mean, I'm signed up for springtime, but again, we actually even talked about this on the goal episode. Like, I was signed up for springtime then too, but Disney is like a different, especially when you're not talking about marathon weekend, like, a 10 miler being the longest distance at springtime. It's like, you walk it, it's fun, you hang out with friends, it's
True.
not, it's that race at the end of the year. Like, we always talk about springtime being like the summer camp, like the last day of summer camp kind of race. So it's like the celebration.
I'm
so
telling you, it's
like,
becoming my favorite.
Yeah. So I think that, we'll go down, we'll enjoy that. I'll be able to walk 10 miles by then. And it'll just kind of be what it is. So, yeah, other than that, I don't know that I'm going to sign up for anything. And I mean, we'll talk about that again in 2025. We'll see what happens, but.
Well, and I mean, like Michael at the end of last year was like, I don't think I'm going to sign up for anything. And you did a few different races.
Yeah.
Like, so there's no need to like put all this stuff on your calendar.
Yeah.
Stress yourself out about it and just say like, oh, I'm feeling pretty good. Let me sign up for this. There are 10Ks, Erin. It doesn't always have to be a marathon.
I think the problem is that, like, with Disney, you have to sign up so freaking far ahead.
Oh, that's
like,
the
there's
killer.
all these races that you have to sign up for so far ahead that it just becomes difficult to, like.
Disney's a problem.
Yeah.
I have.
But, like, not even that. It's like Marine Corps Marathon, like, already had their sign up. Like, everything, all these things have their sign ups so far ahead. Like, it's a year away, you had to sign up for it already.
Yeah, I have 10 emails in my inbox right now about price increases for race registrations on the 1st.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. So I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
Man, we got a ton of feedback. We put out goal getters multiple times because we were supposed to record, like, I don't know, 3 weeks ago. Some of these are a little all over the place because of that.
Because we wanted to hear what you've done, what your future goals are.
Yeah.
We got kind of a little combination of both.
And then some things that were actually about to happen at the end of December, but now because we're recording now have
They
already
actually happened. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of
There's that. Yeah.
it's kind of an all over the place thing. So,
Happens.
but we got a lot of feedback. I'm excited to start reading through that.
So our first one is from Tanya. Indy is involved. He's crying. I successfully didn't register for any. I'm sorry. I successfully didn't register for or do any marathons this year. Yay! See, I love that goal. It sounds like a weird thing to say, but I felt after New York City last year, my body really needed a break, and I've enjoyed it. I've still done races here and there, but nothing over 10 miles. Excited to get back into it for MCM in 2025, but also cringing just a little bit at the thought of summer training again.
That's fair.
Fair
Yeesh.
for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hey, look,
See?
there's that whole thing Diana said that there's distances under marathons.
Yeah. Like,
Who knew?
it doesn't always have to be that. It doesn't have to be the New York City Marathon or nothing. Like, those are the only options.
Gosh. Jennifer Cook said, "Oh my God, survive. Stop beating myself up.
Yes.
Self-care, embracing the good."
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Solid,
that's a solid,
solid,
yeah,
solid.
it's always
I feel like I
very
want
solid.
that tattooed on me.
I know, right? And then Michelle K, I love this one. This one made us
So
all
good.
laugh.
I laughed
I
so
didn't
hard.
run one loop at Cooper River Park.
There you go.
No loopy looper for
fair.
her. No frosty
Frosty
looper for
looper.
her.
It's a great goal.
I ran a loop there today.
Now, did she sign up and not show up for either of them? Or she did a good job of not
No,
signing
she
up
did a
for
good job of not signing
She
up.
actually didn't sign
She
up
didn't
this
sign
time.
up. Nope. She came in and hung out at Loopy for
Oh, yeah,
a
she
little
did,
while.
yeah.
But
Oh,
then
she didn't do a loop with anybody.
But she didn't do a loop with anyone. She sat there with Archie and Peter,
Love
and they did nothing.
Amazing.
right.
Allie Stover. Earlier this year, I signed up for my first marathon, WDW in 25. I was excited and a little terrified when I registered, but I've done the training, hit all my miles so far, and have one more long run this weekend. I am so ready for this marathon, and I'm
Woo.
actually really excited about it too.
Yes.
Woo!
I cannot wait to join that 1% club of marathoners. The icing on the cake. I'll get to run it and cross the finish line with some of my best friends.
best.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
This is your victory loop.
And she did Loopy, right? She did
She
Frosty.
did Frosty. Yep.
Yeah.
Came
So
out
did
as
she treat
Frosty.
that as
That's
like
her
a training
longest.
run?
Yeah,
Yes.
and she did it as her longest run, and she made sure she did not do that last loop because she did not want to hit the marathon
Hit the
distance.
marathon. Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Yes, queen.
All right, our friend Jessica Garand. Holy bleep. I'm finally graduating.
Yay!
Woo!
Big effing goal accomplished. This Friday, I will graduate as a physical therapist assistant, and I have an amazing job lined up working one-on-one with patients at an outpatient clinic with an awesome crew.
Oh, that's awesome. Love that.
Between full-time school and family with 2 young kids, running has been put on the back burner for the last few years.
Understandable.
After no Run Disney races during school, I'm excited to be back running the Princess Challenge.
Yes.
I'll be running with my running bestie, and this will be her first Disney race.
Oh, I love
Nice.
that.
I convinced her that the challenge is the only way to go. It's the only way to run Disney. I love running peer pressure.
Yeah.
Side note, I'll be celebrating my graduation and birthday at Magic Kingdom next week. It's been 7 years since I've been to Disney on a non-race weekend, and I'm
Oh,
so excited.
wow.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah, so
awesome.
she's probably already done that because I think that was a couple weeks ago when she posted that one. So congratulations on all of those things.
So a follow-up to that, she says, ditto for my previous Go-Getter post. I'm glad you guys took care of yourselves and are feeling better. Love you guys and wishing you a happy new year.
Aw.
Right back at you, Jessica.
Yes.
That's amazing. And hearing her talk about Princess, I don't know. I'm starting to get the itch for Princess again. I'm kind of thinking about it for 2026. 2025 is going to be a different, well, it's already too late for 2025, but like 2025, I've got some other goals that I'm going to talk about, but 2026 might have to get me back for Princess because I miss it.
I'll be down there for Princess. So Jessica, hopefully we can run into each other.
All right. Valerie Vinning Marble. Complete the Boston Marathon, even though I was injured and my finish time was too long to count for an Abbott star. Oh no. Well, at least you did it though.
You did
Yeah.
it.
May need a redo in 2026. Then pulled myself after the 5K at Springtime Surprise due to injuries left over from Boston the week before.
Oof.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
Yep. First time pulling out of a Run Disney race, but it was the right decision. See, listen to your body, people. It's been a year of injury, recovery, medical issues, and learning to give myself grace when I set expectations too high and I don't achieve them. You're in good company. You're in good company, Valerie. Sometimes the hardest part of being a runner/athlete is listening to our bodies when they tell us they are not 100% or just need to rest. Thankful
this
for
is
this
all
support.
we've been talking about.
All we've been talking about. Thanks for my support team who stands by me no matter what.
Love it.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're still proud of you.
Yes,
Boston's
absolutely.
still crazy.
And I think that sometimes like pulling yourself is the harder decision, right? Like I feel like DNFing or not DNSing, we talk about that regularly. Like those things are things to be proud of. Like, sometimes you got to, those hard decisions are the better decisions for us.
Yep.
We've got Julia who says, earned my 5th star in Tokyo.
Whoop.
Ran at the Olympics on the same course as the pros during the Marathon Portos. Porto?
It's French. Come on now.
Oh, I don't know.
Bonjour now.
Buongiorno. And completed my first 50K.
Yes.
Love that.
Yeah,
Sweet.
yes.
Amazing.
Laurie Bennett, this year was a great year for me and my marathon goals. Started my marathon journey at the Donna and was inspired by the stories I heard from survivors. Next, I tackled my hometown marathon, the Blue Nose, my first marathon in Canada. Even though I am Canadian, I managed to get first in my age group and won a bottle of wine.
Nice.
Oh, yay.
After that, I tried my hand at trail running and ran an 85.5K for my first ultra.
Wow.
In a 24-hour race. Finished off the year with a personal best in my 3rd world major in Berlin.
Wow. Big
Wow.
year.
That's
That's
a
an
big
awesome.
year.
Yeah, big
It's a
year.
big year.
All right. It starts with Jennifer Hall. My goal of running my final marathon in Disney is out due to an ankle injury,
Oh.
unless a miracle happens. But my hope is that everybody hits their goals in 2025.
Oh, thanks,
Yeah, we're
Jen.
sorry to hear that. I saw her picture of her blown up ankle.
I saw her picture too, but I don't remember how she did it. Was it just like was it overuse or did like something happen?
I think something happened, but I honestly am not 100% sure.
And then Megan Avis, lifetime marathoner, hit my goal of a successful training cycle for Dopey by staying injury-free.
Yeah.
Nice.
And my goal for 2025 is to get Thomas Stover to register for Marine Corps Marathon since I came out of retirement.
Current marathoner, Megan Avis.
More to come.
More to come.
It's a pace thing he's nervous about with MCM.
That's fair.
I get
Not
that.
a distance thing.
I mean,
Yeah.
I just have. Yeah, we're not going to get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll save that for
That's for
2025.
Say
February.
that for 2025.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Our friend Leah. She's been like out there getting it this year too, I feel like. I
Yeah,
feel like I've seen
she's
her.
been doing the CrossFit stuff again.
Mhm.
I've been watching her stories lifting.
Yep. This year I completed my goal of finishing Loopy Looper 24-hour without stopping early.
Yes.
And you guys had that crazy weather. It was insanely
Oh my
hot.
God. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at the pool,
Good call.
living my couch goblin life. I'm super proud of my accomplishment, but I've already been thinking of what I can do differently if I attempt it again. It's not in the cards for 2025, but I do have a goal of completing the Chicago Marathon again. This time, I'm raising money for the American Diabetes Association. My hope is to reach my 2,500 goal.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Good
that's
job, Leah.
great.
We got Amy Miles and Crown says PR'd the Berlin Marathon by 19 minutes, even
Wow.
though I had
That's
to taper earlier than expected due to IT band issues.
19 minutes is a lot.
That is a
Yeah,
lot.
that is a lot.
That's awesome.
That's
Congratulations.
And then we have Stephanie Donahue who says, have you guys ever done one of those in-body scans? No.
No, because
No.
I feel like it would just ruin my day.
It breaks down your muscle versus fat mass. Anyways, I did one in early November after wine and dine, and then again today after doing strength training pretty consistently. I'm getting the results I wanted, considering the holidays were thrown into the mix. I gained 4 pounds of muscle and lost 4% body fat. I
That's
felt
a
like
lot.
a crumbling cookie at wine and dine from skipping on strength training for, let's just say, ever. So while I have not gotten much running in lately, I'm feeling pretty good.
Yes, Stephanie, the
That's so
strength
good.
training.
Yeah.
That's so good.
I'm telling you, it's a game changer.
If I did one of those body scans, it would probably just like it'd be like just like a can of mayonnaise.
Can of mayonnaise.
I just picture it like
Oh,
squirting out of a
man.
tube.
We have Rachel. Happy to report I was able to complete a perfect season last year, including coast to coast.
Whew.
Also tackled my first ever full marathon outside of Disney at MCM. Ready to see what the new year has in store for each of us.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. A perfect season is a lot. It's a time investment. It's a financial investment.
Yeah.
I feel like just being able to register for every single
Yeah.
race
Is
is a
hard.
feat. It's a
Hard.
feat itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then we got our boy Chris Larson. So he has got all his training in for the Houston Marathon,
Nice.
which comes on January 19th. This training block has been going well. Knock on wood, fingers crossed. And looking forward to our hometown race.
Love it. Has his episode dropped? We have
No,
him.
we
Yeah,
have
we
Wait,
have
didn't
him
we
coming up.
I was like, didn't we just talk to him?
Yeah.
we have his episode coming up too.
You know, we should drop it the week he runs that.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
We'll work on that.
Chris,
We'll see
we're
whether we can
scheduling
line
you.
that up correctly.
Bob, consummate professional, the patriarch of the Rise and Run family, says, in 2024, I continued to cross a bunch of start lines. The highlight was pushing my buddy Woody across the marathon finish line at the conclusion of Dopey number 4. And a 2025 goal is to keep crossing those starts and maybe even a few finish lines, including Dopey number 5.
Yay.
Yeah. Yep.
Yay, Bob.
Bob's awesome. We all
I love Bob. I
I
know.
was just trolling Greg the other day on their Facebook page.
Oh, God.
You know what? They dish it out too because I keep getting trolled just because I thought Norway was a whatever. All right. Local celebrity Jack Witzig. He says, Arg, I totally forgot. Unless things go seriously topsy-turvy, I'm going to finish running all of the streets in Camden County before the end of the year.
Wow.
Thanks to you
Nice.
guys for all your support. Then he says, update. On New Year's Eve, I'm going to finish running every street in Camden County, New Jersey. That's 2,116 road miles that involved almost 3,700 miles of running to finish.
Oh my God.
It took the equivalent of more than 13 40-hour work weeks, and all told, we raised over $5,000 for the Lewy Body Dementia Association in memory of my dad, and a bunch of people who heard about the effort relayed their fond memories of him.
That's nice.
And the hugest thanks to you guys for being the first to spread the word, of course.
Oh my gosh.
Love
We're
that.
so
That's awesome.
proud
Jack,
of you,
you're
Jack.
awesome.
Incredible.
Yes, really.
Yeah. I don't even have words for that. That's just amazing.
All right, Kate. I took care of myself this year. Most of it was physical, and losing over 100
100
pounds.
pounds.
Mhm.
God.
Killing it. We're gonna go get margaritas tomorrow, so we're gonna add to some of that, I think. Hey, it's all about balance. I started therapy this month, which is a great launch into the new year. Diana can tell you this girl needs to get her mind right next. No shame.
No shame indeed.
No,
I love it.
absolutely. We talk about that regularly, man.
I'm telling you, it's getting your mental health in line is a game changer.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have been able to do anything I did physically this year without having kind of my year I dedicated to mental health.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Shadlick? Shadlick? What do we think?
I think Shadlick.
Shadlick?
Shadlick, yeah.
All right. Shadlick says, completed my first marathon this year, which was at Disney. Ran my
Yay.
second marathon at Steamtown to see how well I could actually do for time. I beat my first marathon time by over an hour.
Nice.
Wow. Next up, I have Dopey coming up in a few weeks. After that, I plan to step back from the distance, and I think focus next year will be to achieve a sub-2 half marathon.
That's an awesome goal.
That is
Yeah.
an
That's a
awesome
great goal.
Yep. Fantastic.
That 2-hour half marathon is a big goal for a lot
Yeah.
of people. So
Yeah.
good luck. Yeah.
Next up, we have Lisa Chiquita. Not as many races for me this past year. I worked on prioritizing my mental health.
There it is.
One other big thing I'm super proud of, during marathon weekend, I will celebrate 1 year of sobriety.
Oh, that's awesome
Yay.
too.
Good for
Yeah.
you.
Congrats.
That's a good one.
Yep, that's great.
Runny Drink. I think this is Amy.
Yes.
Yep.
My goal is to believe enough. For my dad to start believing that we can get him through another round of cancer treatment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh
That's-
gosh, yeah.
Very difficult for sure.
We're definitely with you, Amy.
Yeah. For
Yeah,
sure.
sending you so much love. And then Dawn had some great races this past year with a lot of shared memories with friends along the way. Taking a break from Run Disney and focusing on some bucket list races in different areas for 2025. And always packing my far superior
Yeah.
underwear anywhere I wander.
Dawn always has the game
Yes,
on.
I love it.
Yes.
Single-handedly
Fantastic.
keeping our brand afloat.
I know.
For sure.
I can't think of the last time I posted on Instagram. That's going to be a goal for next year.
Do you want to take the next two?
Sure.
One short one.
Sure. Zima Runs the World says, my first Dopey challenge and 3 other marathons.
Wow.
Woof.
Wow.
Crazy. Yeah, that's a lot for the year. 2025, I'm only doing 2 marathons.
Is that a new name?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think we've seen that name before.
We've had a couple new names in here.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have.
I think so.
I like it.
Do you think Zima is a name, or do you think they're talking about the 90s beverage Zima?
Either way.
Fantastic.
Either way, I'm good with it.
Erica says, started 2024 as a 3-time Dopey finisher. Yes.
Wow.
Did one all by myself. Still so proud of this. The rest of 2024 was a bumpy ride. My nose is healing well. Got
Mohs.
surgery. Oh, okay. Got Mohs surgery for skin cancer. They also took some skin out of my shoulder. Still sore, but healing. Couldn't run, but loved listening to you all. You are joy in my ears, and I just ride when I just ride the car or walk, or when I do run. 2025 is about taking care of myself inside and out.
Yay.
Get the crayons and color outside the lines and get your goals. Oh, I love
Yay.
that. Color outside the lines. I love that advice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to mention how you pronounce crayons.
Yeah, that was an interesting pronunciation of crayons.
Look,
What-
I'm
what
from
did I say?
DC. I say crowns, like what you wear on your head, and I have to actively think about it every time I
What did I
pronounce it. so
say? I don't even know how I said it.
Say
What did you say?
Now I don't know. Now
think
I
you
don't
should
want to say it.
it.
She didn't say crowns. Like,
I didn't say crowns.
But you
Crayons?
said like crayons?
Crayons.
Crayons.
oh, crayons?
Like
Crayons.
cranberry?
I feel
It's
like
like
it's
crayon
fine.
apple.
Crayons? How do you say it?
Crayons.
I have never said crayons in my life.
I've never said crayons
Well, that's the
in my
correct
life
way to
without
say it.
actively thinking about saying crayons.
All
I have
right.
never said crayons. Okay.
I'll do 3, and then you can do 3, Tom.
All right.
Since we got a line of pretty short ones.
yeah.
Kate runs far, finishing finishing goofy strong after kicking ass with training.
Whoop whoop.
Awesome.
And then we got run, cat run. Did my first full marathon with a 6:16, was aiming for a 6:30 in San Antonio. Bring on Dopey 2026.
Oh my gosh, how motivating is
Ooh,
that?
That's
Yeah.
so cool. Good job.
And she ran happily ever after. 26.2 Virtual Space Coast, my first unofficial marathon.
Nice.
Whoop whoop. Space Coast
She's
is
doing her
great.
first official marathon at Disney weekend.
Nice.
Oh, that's
Nice.
great.
All right, I have Dr. Dare Runs. First time posting. Almost finished training for my first marathon at WDW in January.
Another
Awesome.
first-time finisher. There you go.
Yay,
The weather looks like it's going to be
Cool.
not hot.
Not hot. It's the first time in a while.
Yeah, I actually like those hot ones, but I'm glad for everybody else. It's going to be cool.
I
also,
don't think
thank you
a
for
lot of
posting.
people are not happy about the cold.
Well,
Because it's going to be cold.
yeah, it's
Oh,
going
it's
to be
going to
cold.
be like 2018 cold?
Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah.
like cold.
Like in the
Ugh.
low
Like
30s
the
in
high
morning.
is going to be like 50.
Yeah, so
It'll-
2018 cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be pretty chilly.
All right, and then our friend Greg, who do you gonna call?
Oh, Greg.
He is my plastic cheese. While not by much, finally got a new marathon PR.
Awesome.
I mean,
It
it doesn't
all
matter
counts.
whether it's by much.
Hey.
It all counts. I agree.
Greg, you're putting in the work, man.
Yep.
No,
We're super proud of you.
20 minutes or 20 seconds. It's still a PR.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Eric from the On the Runs podcast. 2024 goal was to run a marathon. We did it. It was a hard day, but still a humbling experience. SHI blank is hard. That's true, Eric.
I mean,
Uh,
it seems appropriate.
yeah.
And
All
then,
You want to do
Yeah,
the
go
3
ahead.
next? 3?
yeah, so I'll do the next 3, and we've got On the Run just as a podcast, so I think we'll be hearing from both of them individually and then as a group,
This is a
which I
group
think
one.
is great.
Yeah.
This is a group one. They said we'll run for on the pod. 2024 goal achieved. We love you guys. Oh, we love you too.
We love you too.
Also, we were in some random brewery in where the hell were we? Tampa, and on a freaking
Yes.
fridge at a brewery, there was a Run Eat Drink sticker and an On the Run sticker.
Oh my God, that's
So-
hilarious.
So we got photos with them.
That's funny. That's fantastic.
So
I love
they're
it.
getting, the word's getting out there. Rachel likes to run. Didn't accomplish any goals except get a new and better job. A win is a win.
Yeah,
That's a
I mean,
win.
that's a
That
great
is a
goal.
win.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
huge goal. And
Fantastic.
getting a new job and making that transition just impacts your life so much. Like your schedule and what you do and your mental health and getting all set up. So if that's the only thing you accomplish, that's huge.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Malt Timberlake. Is that a new name?
Wait,
Yes.
That's a
wait.
new name, too.
That's kind of a
Oh, and
fun name, too.
hang on, it's Mal Timberlake, not
Oh.
Malt
Is this-
Timberlake.
Is this
Yeah.
not Mal? Is this Mal?
Is that no? It's not Mal.
No,
That would be so funny.
because it's
What if
Coach
it-
Mal.
Is this going to be another? Who did you ask if they were the same people?
Oh, got EcoFit.
I thought this might be
Eco-Fit
Mal,
Emily
like,
O'Keefe.
like doing like a joke. But
Oh,
okay.
God.
Mal Timberlake. Ran my first 50K 3 weeks after my new marathon PR.
Awesome.
Wow.
That's crazy. Finished and dare I say, kind of enjoyed it.
That's how it goes.
Yep.
That's
awesome.
that's the Michael logic there. Hey, you ran a marathon. It's fine.
I mean, you're already training at that point,
Uh-huh.
right? You just might as well keep going the 50K.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's on the dopey to ultra
Pipeline.
pipeline all the time.
That's
Yeah,
it.
everybody running dopey. Don't forget, just sign up for an ultra in February because you're already trained for it.
We have Laura Duxon who says, my spring goal was to get a proof of time for Dopey 25. Mission accomplished and crushed a 5K, 5-miler, 10K, 10-miler, and
Oh my
half
gosh.
marathon PR while doing so.
I mean,
My God.
Yeah.
Insane.
She's been killing
Right?
it.
That's crazy. How different the beginning of this year was for me. Since August, I've battled injuries, so I let go of my marathon PR goal for October and accepted that it's still freaking amazing to finish a marathon. Absolutely.
yep.
It's not always about time. I was able to enjoy it. Now I'm on my way to my third dopey. We shall see what corral that POT gets me in. Due to a couple of seconds, I'm balancing between B and C. Looking forward to seeing you all. Don't tell everyone I'm bringing Dutch stroke waffles to the expo.
Ooh, nice.
We're so sad we're going to miss you, but Erin and Michael will be there.
You had better
Stroop
FaceTime.
waffles.
Yeah.
When you're
We
with
will
her, you
be-
better FaceTime.
Yeah, I chatted with her the other day, and we are going to try and meet up at the expo.
Well,
for
we
sure.
plan on being there Wednesday for the long haul. I
Yeah,
assume.
yeah, which is what I had told her.
Yeah,
So we
just hanging
chatted
on the
about that.
walkway, yeah.
Yep.
Try not to overdrink, I guess. Although I don't have a marathon the next day, so I guess that's okay. So we
Good
got
luck with that.
Brianna.
Tom's getting FOMO.
I'm on
I
Southwest right now.
I said this to Erin in a DM after Loopy over the summer, but I was thinking about it again the other day. I thought I wouldn't be able to run long distances again after the hip issues I dealt with from Dopey 2023. Getting to be one of the relay teams for Loopy and doing 22.5 miles without any issues was a huge deal to me.
Yeah.
My running has been inconsistent at best this year, but knowing if I want to train for another marathon in the future, I'd be able to, is something I didn't think I'd even consider again. Who knows what will happen by the end of 2025? Shout out to strength training. Turns out it really does help.
Yes. And she's just lifting
I know.
crazy
Oh,
things.
it's
Like
Insane.
She's killing
legit
it.
Yeah.
strength
Like,
training.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's doing a different level strength training than I'm doing. It's
Yes. Yeah.
killing it.
Is this me?
It's your bestie.
My bestie, EcoFit.
So speak of.
Speaking of,
I hit 10,000 steps a day every day in 2024, except for when I was recovering from surgery.
Yeah.
And I finished the Marine Corps Marathon within the time limit.
nice.
2025 Princess Half and Marine Corps Marathon, here I come.
Woo.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's amazing. The 10,000 steps a day is really hard.
Yeah,
Like when
yeah,
you're
yeah.
not running, when I was running a lot, I was getting it without even thinking about it. But nowadays I just do the
Yeah.
bike. I'm like struggling to get 7,000. So I'm going to consider maybe doing something next year with a step type goal. All right. KP Finnan, who's that? Do we know who that is?
Yes, we've had her before because I accidentally pronounced her name KP Finnanen.
Oh, yeah.
Finnan.
You added a bunch of, yeah.
Ah, gosh. Well, welcome back. In 2024, I was able to complete my first dopey challenge with a margarita in hand. Hell
Amen.
yeah.
Best.
Started a coaching program with the fabulous Run Fit Mama.
Oh, that's awesome.
Earned a Disney proof of time.
Lovely.
Came back from a knee and calf injury. Wow. Had an absolute blast at Wine and Dine. This year wasn't without its challenges, both mental and physical, but I'm so grateful for this community. See you
Yay.
in 2025. I'd love to give Erin a high five at the half in January.
We will be there cheering.
That's so
I'll
good.
be around
Yay.
someplace.
We'll definitely be at the reunion area for the half.
Yeah, get to that reunion area, kind of just off of where the beers are. That's where we normally are.
Yeah, you'll see.
Hanging out way too
yeah.
long.
Put up the
closing
flag.
it down.
Please bring that
oh,
flag.
bring the flag.
If you
Do
put
you
up
think
that
Disney will
flag,
let you have it?
We'll bring
Oh,
the
yeah, the
backpack.
flag-
We have the flag
backpack
backpack, so
yeah.
maybe.
you're gonna forget it. You're gonna forget it in the hotel room. Calling it right now.
Our friend John Swanson says, my favorite goal-getter accomplishment from 2024 was finding ways to make myself healthier through supplements, which helped me achieve 15 races that
Wow.
are a marathon or further, including 200 milers, the TGNY 100 and the Javelina 100, plus over 2,000 miles of running for the year in November. My new record. So for 2024, I wanted to continue with eyeing up more races and trying to keep my body on track as I enter into my 50s.
Welcome to the club, John. Yeah, and John, like 2
Killing
weeks
it.
before Javelina got in.
Oh, yeah,
and ran-
yeah. Killing it.
We watched him finish on the live stream,
We
actually.
did.
It was pretty fun.
Amazing.
Let's see. Lisa Taylor. Lisa knits and trains. My biggest goal was to raise money for type 1 diabetes research. Check. My next biggest goal was to ride 100 miles. I made 78 miles, which is farther than I have ever gone before. I think I could have gone 100, but I didn't want to chance an injury for Dopey, so I stopped. Is that
That's
wisdom
smart.
or an excuse? I say
That's
wisdom.
smart.
I think we all say wisdom
Uh-huh.
here because
Yep.
your goal is Dopey, and I understand you want to do the century ride, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the injury is super important. Last week I ran 23 miles and felt good afterwards. 2 days later, and I had zero soreness. I think I am
Yay.
finally in a good place in my health, training, nutrition journey. And what a journey it has been. It makes me so happy that my body is not rebelling against me. My final goal is to avoid all sickness and remain healthy for Dopey.
There you go.
Yes.
All right, that was the end of the text-based ones. We got a few audio ones, so thank you to Wendy, Mike, and Tony for those. Here we go. Here's Wendy.
Y'all wanted voice memos, and you know I love to talk, so here it goes. Some years you're up, some years you're down. 2024 definitely was a down year for me. I set some very high A goals for myself. Side note, always have an A, B, and C goal. And I did not reach my A goals this year. I was aiming to finish Race Across the West and improve upon my time from 2023 by nearly 2 days. Unfortunately, I ended up in the emergency room only 24 hours into the race after getting a migraine and puking for 12 hours nonstop.
Oof.
Yep, dehydrated in the middle of the desert in June is a quick ticket to an ER.
Ugh.
At the 24-hour World Time Trial Championship in November, I was hoping to set a world record, and I missed the mark on that. However, I did still win. So there's that. I am a firm believer in focusing on the positives, even though admittedly it is really tough to do sometimes. During Race Across the West, I was actually nearly 100 miles further along during the first 24 hours than I was in 2023. That was huge. It really showed that I had improved on my fitness and endurance and will be able to eventually get that 300 mile in 24 hour mark that's never been done by a female
God.
hand cyclist.
Wow.
So here's to a better 2025, more records, more world championships. And I'm not sure if you wanted 2025 goals or not too,
Go for it.
but for 2025, the big goal is going to be to break that 300 mile barrier. If you're in Florida, come cheer me on in Sebring, February 15th through 16th, where I plan to do that. And then the next big goal will be to finish Race Across America in June. That is the 3,000 mile race that goes
God.
from the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh my God.
And
God.
then, of course, I want that three-peat as 24-hour
Wow.
world champion next November. So, you know, always got to set those big goals. Sometimes they happen, sometimes they don't. But if you don't try, you never know.
That's it.
Love it.
What a
That's it.
year.
Yeah, I mean,
Love
my
it.
God, insane.
I got nothing. That's
Right?
amazing.
All right, we got Mike up next from Disnerd.
Hello and happy 2025. This is Michael, known to some of you as Run Disnerd. My 2024 was a whirlwind for sure. I set some pretty lofty goals for myself. I told myself I wanted to run 800 miles and finish 3 world majors. At the time of this recording, I'm on the cusp of breaking 800 miles, and I this year completed 3 majors: London, Chicago, and New York City. What's next for 2025? My pie in the sky goal is to PR to marathon distance. My other goals are to finish Tokyo and Berlin and complete my 6-star journey, as well as running 850 miles for the year and try to Peloton 700 miles for the year.
Nice.
Some of the smaller goals I set for myself are to finish the Celebration Marathon, since that was one of 2 DNFs that I have, and also run my 5th Mount Dora half marathon and earn that precious 5-year jacket.
Wow.
I hope everyone has a safe and healthy 2025. I hope you crush all your goals. And I also wanted to add a side note that Chicago and New York are special to me because I got to hang out with some people like Hollywood and y'all from Roll Run 4 in New York City, and thank you for making that a wonderful weekend.
Aw.
Best of love to all y'all, and I'll see you in 2025.
Keep on rocking.
That's awesome.
He's just like killing the majors.
Yes.
I know.
Just
Yeah.
running
Just
through
checking
'em.
them off like they're nothing.
Yep.
Just running through them. Man.
And speaking of Tony,
This is Tony, like the Tiger, coming to you from Austria at Epcot. My proudest moment this year would be I signed up for 2 marathons to start the year, ended up running 3. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think I would accomplish that. But to be able to do that through all the injuries, the ups and downs, was definitely an incredible goal to hit. And I think a huge thank you goes out to the running community, to all the people out there that would reach out while you're down on a run, while I'm injured, all those things to pick me back up, to help me get to all those start lines, and most importantly, to all those finish lines. Thanks for all the help, everyone. Let's make 2025 a great year.
Yes, sir.
I think I stopped listening after he said, "This is Tony, like the Tiger."
Did you hear what he said? Coming to you from Austria.
Epcot. Always trolling, always trolling. I love
Tony's
it.
awesome.
It's funny. There's this new trend through Dopey Training where everyone's doing those sticker questions. Like ask a question while you're on the treadmill because you got nothing better to do.
Yeah.
And so like I've been enjoying like listening to them talk about like during their training runs and doing those things. I don't know. Tony talking right now just reminded me of that because he's been doing them a bunch.
He's been doing a ton.
Yeah.
Also, he lives in the Arctic. I'm convinced.
I know.
Yeah,
like,
it's
just
insane.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I love the snow. I'm like, oh my God. Like every time he posts snow, I'm like, no, just no.
And it's always like his daughter out there in like a princess dress and 12 feet of snow. I'm like, what is happening there? Where do you live?
he's in Green Bay.
Yeah, he's with what's his name? Ryan Teets.
He's further north than Ryan.
Living in the tundras.
Yeah.
Tundras.
Ollie is like staring at
Indy.
At Indy.
Look at that face.
He's like,
Indy
"What?"
really wants to go out.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Honestly, everyone, thank you so much for sending in your goals. Of course, we're super proud of this community and everybody in it, and we love sharing in your successes and failures and everything. So,
Was that the last one?
that was the last one.
Okay.
That was the last one.
Do we want to wrap up with something good?
Yeah, I mean,
We can
always.
go real quick. Yeah.
I'll go first. Kendrick Lamar's new album GNX is a banger. It's really good for running because it's got a lot of quick tempoed songs. So highly recommend GNX by Kendrick.
He's doing the Super Bowl this year.
Oh,
He
is he?
is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Doing the halftime show.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I have not the Lord of the Rings that we all watch at Christmas every year, which we already did, of course. But the animated 1978 version, which I just watched and is available on HBO Max.
I thought you were going to talk about the War of the Rohirrim. I was like, did you guys see it?
No, I actually haven't heard great things about that. So I did watch. I watched the 1978 version of Lord of the Rings. I still have Return of the King left to watch, and I watched The Hobbit previously. But they're all on
The
Max.
Hobbit is the scariest thing I've ever seen in my
Yeah.
life. It made me not. When the Lord of the Rings movie originally came out, I didn't want to see it
because of that cartoon.
that animated movie flipped
Yeah.
me out so much as a kid. That Gollum is so scary.
Oh my God! Yeah. Well, let me tell you about Strider or Aragorn in The Lord of the Rings.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
He
wow.
is wearing a sleeveless mini dress, basically, with just a belt.
Oh my God.
No pants?
No pants.
Oh my God. It's
And
fantastic.
Boromir wears the same thing, basically, and then Legolas looks like Peter Frampton in like spandex
Oh my God.
as he comes prancing along from God knows where. But yeah, no, it's great. It's still fun. It's a very interesting animation style because it was basically they took the film and made it animation. So fun one to watch.
I don't know what my something good is. I like the Caesar's buffet at
That was good.
something good.
Man,
oh
that
my god,
Bacchanal buffet.
oh my god! If you ever go to
Holy cow.
Vegas, that buffet. I mean, like they're making like the burrito tacos like right there in front of you. They have this
Yeah.
pork chata. Oh my god, it was so good. But I don't really feel like that's a
Lobster,
lobster,
crab, snow crab
so
legs.
good. Yeah, that's what I should have been running for. I mean, I always love to talk about the community, and being the end of the year, this year has been really difficult for me. So I always love to shout out the community.
Okay,
That's a
don't
good
cry.
one.
I get emotional.
It's the end of the year. You're
well,
allowed
you know,
to get
I was
weepy.
in the hospital, and the number of people who reached out to me, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, you know that the community supports you, but then when they all reach out to you, it's just lovely, and I'm always emotional.
It's fair.
So I have my funny one and then my sentimental one.
There you go. I don't know if I really have one because I've been watching exclusively Christmas movies for the last month, and now I'm
Yeah.
watching Lord of the Rings. But now that I'm off, I'm going to start catching up on stuff. So I want to watch the new Star Wars stuff that I haven't watched because we still haven't watched Andor season 2. You guys said we should go back and watch the Lord of the Rings show.
Yeah,
The second
season 2 was
season,
good.
because we haven't
Yeah.
done that. So now that I'm about to hit winter hibernation, please send me things to watch.
Diana and I are about to take a journey on
Yes.
Fourth Wing
Yes.
with Marsha, Melissa, and Linda. So
I don't even know what you're talking about.
it's a book.
Okay.
Yep. So if you
We're-
guys
we're
want
getting
to
into
read
some
Fourth Wing with
dragons.
us,
Yeah.
let me know.
Sexy
Um,
dragons.
We
Yep,
just
we're gonna
started this journey this weekend, so
Dragon sex.
I hope so. And then you guys can we can rage at each other when ridiculous things happen.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, the third book comes out at the end of January, so we started the first book, and
gotcha.
so we're going to first book, second book, and then
Go into
be
the
in
new
time when the new book comes out. That's
yeah,
the goal.
it's coming out slightly sooner than I was ready for. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I think we
yeah.
can do it.
I think so too.
So again, thank you everybody. More to come in 2025, but I Googled quotes about achieving goals.
Ugh.
The disdain in Diana's voice,
Always.
because it's real.
And it's never like I just want it to be like a fun quote, and it
Okay,
never
well, this
is.
is from Walt Disney. It says, all your dreams can come true if you have the courage to pursue them. All right?
There you go. Very nice.
Fantastic. Next year, someone else can do the quotes, because I don't care anymore.
Always laying down, staring dead, watching watching
Andy
Indy.
just punched me in the face because I insulted his dad. So
I love it. Look at Ollie's little face.
all right.
And on that note, Tom.
Goodbye.
Happy New Year,
Happy
everyone.
New Year.
Have a good race. This will come out Dopey Week.
Bye.
Good luck.
Man,
Yeah.
Ollie is mesmerized by Indy right now.
Because his little wiener is on the screen.
We're keeping it all
You
in, just so
perv.
we all know.
You
that
perv, Ollie.
I wouldn't edit this at all.